Excited.
Okay.
What's up,
Hello.
everybody? It's your girl, Michelle Renee from IamMichelleRenee.com, and I have an extremely special guest today, the one and only Miss Ameka Coleman. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Ameka, tell everybody where you're from and who you are in your own words and what your brand is.
My name is Ameka Coleman. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, born and raised. And I am the owner and founder of Strands of Faith. We are a faith-based hair and beauty lifestyle brand, and we formulate and create quality products to moisturize the dry tresses and to get your hair healthy and popping.
Yes, healthy and popping, like you see with her fresh wash and go, loving it. Tell us how you. I love that you in your intro introduce it as a faith-based hair brand. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. So I have a very strong faith-based like lifestyle in general. And so when I created my company, it was very important to kind of like bring that aspect over into the business side of things. So everything that we do has like a um, uplifting, empowering, motivating factor outside of the hair care aspect. So the goal is to, make sure your hair is good, but we also want to make sure that your spirit, that you're good as well. So it's just like a combination of the two that I was just led to kind of like put the two together, and that's how it came about.
I absolutely love that because the beautiful thing about you is that your faith is not a pretend thing. Like it literally powers everything you do, like from your blogs to the posts that come out from clients that have purchased from you, like the different weekly tidbits. Everything in it is so faith infused to where it's truly a beautiful marriage of being able to be an entrepreneur and having a faith-based brand. So I absolutely love that about you. Tell us how you got started in the hair business, because that's not what you went to school for. That's not what you signed up for originally. So tell us a little bit about your journey into becoming a hair care entrepreneur.
So I always like to say it was one of those things where passion met purpose. And my previous career was clinical research. I have a science heavy background. And so I was in the clinical research industry before I started Strands of Faith. But at the same time, I guess you could say a hobby or something that I enjoyed doing. I was a natural hair enthusiast, and that just basically meant that I had a Instagram and a social media presence where I did different hair tutorials, different hairstyles, and it was kind of like an outlet. It was therapeutic for me to be able to do different things, but in the process, you see, I have. Well, you probably can't notice here, but when my hair is washed, it's very kinky and tightly coiled. And so I wanted to just show others that you could love and embrace that and be confident in, showing up and rocking it. And so that's kind of what my social media presence was like built on. And so then just my science background and all of that, God gave me a revelation, if you will, to start Strands of Faith. And so the two came together and it just kind of worked out. Like I started formulating my products from scratch and I used the formulas on my own texture to kind of like get a feel of, what it was that, I wanted to kind of put out into the marketplace. And for me, that was creating products that would keep my hair moisturized for multiple days at a time, which at the time I had issues keeping it moisturizing for, more days. It's probably like a day or two here or there.
Right.
And so I did that. And then I started to share that with family, friends, consumers. And then the whole business just kind of took a life of its own. And here we are today.
Absolutely. I'd seen you and your presence because we've known each other for a while. We actually went to Mississippi State together. And although we didn't interact in the same circles, as I was looking, I was like, okay, I remember this face. I remember seeing, of course, I know your husband. So I was like, okay, Dan's wife got some hair on her head. What is she doing? And that's how I ended up following. And I have a similar hair texture to you. I have that 4C, very, very kinky, coily hair. And I was because I've been for years, I've worn my hair bald and was very confident in it. And I was like, talking to my husband, and I was like, I think I want to try to grow it out. And so before I even started growing it out, I started using your products on my girl's hair, who all of them have different textures of hair.
Right.
And so to be able to see my baby girl, well, my middle girl, who has that very thick, kinky, coily, draw up to where it looks like it's about this long, but it's actually more than 2 feet long, you're going, that's the kind of hair she has, and it's naturally dry, right? So to
Right.
see and to be able to take a child who's extremely tender-headed, apply your products, work my fingers through it, and then be able to comb through her hair without her screaming bloody murder was like, okay, I'm a believer. Because a lot of people don't know the reason I opted to go and shave all my hair off is because I'm extremely tender-headed.
Me
So
too.
rather than deal with somebody combing my hair, I was like, I'd rather just not have any at all.
Right, right.
But now I can get braids and protective styles. My hair, I started officially growing it like in December, and just watching how the product has transformed my hair, because I even use a stimulating hair oil on my scalp in between styles or when I'm getting it braided. And just to be able to take my braids down and wash it with the shampoo bar or put the deep intensive conditioning treatment on it, or that amazing clay wash, that mask, which is crazy. Like that thing is bananas. Like I literally I'm still tender-headed. That hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
But to be able to comb through my own hair without making myself cry is major. So I love that. It's hard. I know that your brand doesn't just target 4C hair. And I love that. It focuses on dry hair types and moisture retention and length retention. But to know that I can have a go-to product and say this works for my hair every time, and it just so happens to work for my girl's hair, is so amazing. So I kind of went off on a little tangent, but
Thank
I actually,
you.
like, I'm a proud Faith Tribe member. So
Yeah.
when you love something, you want to scream from the mountaintops, especially when you are part of a demographic that has never really been targeted when it comes to embracing kinky, coily hair. I've
Right.
even seen some of the styles that you've done over the years with your hair that made me say, we could do that. We 4C hair do wash and goes. Like, when do we do that? So it
Right.
really makes you excited to embrace this journey, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here you got us out here living our best kinky coily life,
Yes.
truly blessed,
Yes.
with hair care products that are all natural, that are made in small batches, so you know that they're made with love and care. And you
Right.
absolutely have been so transparent in the process, right? Like, people get to see the ups and downs of Strands of Faith. And I love that about you. We've seen you have batches that can't be produced because something didn't go right, or we've seen you have trouble with labeling or things like that. And the fact that you've shown that, it makes people even more engaged with it, because it's like, this lady literally is walking and operating by faith, and
Right.
that's what's powering this company. So that
Right.
makes us very excited. But it brings me
Thank
to, yes, it brings me to a question. Well, not really even a question, but can you tell the people how Strands of Faith went from the kitchen sink to now really having this almost industrious type feel? Tell us a little about that journey.
So 2018, we launched in February 2018. And at the time, that's when I was working full time. I was traveling for work 3 to 5 days a week. And so in between times, I would come home, mix up the products, make them in the kitchen. And then about probably halfway through, I was like, okay, I'm outgrowing this kitchen. Like, I can't do it in here anymore. You should have seen our house. It was just like it wasn't even like a home anymore.
It was a manufacturing place.
Yes. And so it's like, okay. So I ended up building a shed in the backyard, which I've coined the Faith Shed. So it was just I can't remember, like a 10 by 12 shed outside. I got custom built shelves. And so I stored the product out there. Then we'll start shipping in the shed. And then in my mind, I had plans to be in the shed for 2 years. But unbeknownst to me and the whole faith journey, and just, I feel like it was just a testament of being obedient and things like that. God said, nope, not today. I'm about to elevate this thing. So I was like, okay. And so we went from the faith shed to what I call the Faith House this past May, right in the middle of right at the start of the pandemic. It was crazy. And so we have it's a 7 office/warehouse space now where we operate. So I'm just grateful. It's just been an amazing journey, and it's just a testament that if you get out of your own way and you have a little faith and put in work, work, because we know that faith without works is dead. So
That's
when you
right.
couple
That's
the
right.
two and you just get out your way, it's just amazing what he allows to unfold. So I am grateful, and I'm just ready for the remainder of the journey.
And I absolutely love that. And you actually touched on what I was about to ask you next, which was how has the pandemic affected you? But you kind of gave us a little lead in as to how it kind of helped in a way, right?
Yes. So the pandemic, this whole thing, of course, it's been an unfortunate series of events with the pandemic. However, on the business side of things, oh, excuse me, my hair got in my eye. But anyway, on the business side of things, it has been, what's the word? It's been mind blowing in the sense that, traffic has exceeded my expectations, revenue has exceeded my expectations, and this has just been because of the limited amount of traffic with people going to the stores and things like that.
Yep.
Come back to the e-commerce space, it falls on us, and so I've been able to pick up tons of new customers and also have returning customers, my previous customers to come and shop, just to like a one-stop shop for all their hair care needs and things like that. And so it has helped tremendously in that aspect. We were already in a growing phase, but I think it kind of like set it on fire times 10. And it's so crazy now that we talk about it because, mind you, isn't God so good? He knew that the pandemic was
He
already
did.
going to exist,
He did.
right?
He
Prior
did.
to that, when I was in the shed, he knew that. To the month that he had already ordained for me to get the warehouse, he knew it. And it's just that during that time, the growth, it just kind of coincided with each other, and it just makes you think, okay, that has to be nothing but God. I mean, granted, I'm not taking away from the pandemic itself,
Right,
with
right, right.
the, on the personal, it's an unfortunate thing, but through it all, we know that God has his hands on us and his will be done, regardless. And I've just seen it play out in that regard for SOF during this time. So
And that's
again,
truly a blessing. Like I've watched people who I never would have imagined um, step out on a natural hair journey, right? Or
mhm,
people who I never would have imagined now having to really not have a choice but be responsible for their own hair
right.
and figuring out, what's the best product. And I can remember at one point during the pandemic, the height of it, people were asking specifically like what Black owned hair care companies are there around. And I would
Mhm,
see lists, and every time I see lists, I go and I add Strands of Faith at the bottom. Like, you can't forget about this one. You got to make sure you know it. So it's one of those things where, yes, 99% of the pandemic has been extremely unfortunate. It's been inconvenience. It's been devastating. People have died and their demise come as a result of it. But for those of us who are able, or all of us at one point were staying home, but to know that there's a company that is taking the precautions, right, and making
mhm,
the products, it's not coming across a bunch of hands or going to a bunch of places before it actually is literally from my shop to your home. And so that
right.
creates a lot more comfort to know, what, I don't have to worry about if this has been contaminated or if this has been exposed to something or if this might potentially make me ill. It's like, okay, I know I'm going to get this product and I could use it right away because it's already been taken care of in that end. So I think that while yes, it's definitely been truly tragic in a lot of ways, a lot
Mhm,
of companies have been fortunate to be blessed in this moment because of it being pushed to an e-commerce space, and because you already had that, it helps
right.
to reestablish that. So I'm really, really excited about that. What are some other things that 2020 taught you or has taught you so far? Because we still got a ways to go to finish out the year. What has it taught you as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur?
I would say it's taught me to not limit your goals. Like, I mean, set a goal, have a goal in mind, but also have a stretch goal. You know what I'm saying? Like that stretch goal is not so much out of reach as you may initially think.
Yeah.
And part of that is just like removing limiting beliefs and what you think about yourself, what you think about, various things. And it's just taught me to it's increased my level of faith for one, but it's just taught me to be free and to be me, just show up as my authentic self, and everything else just take care of itself. So
Oh
it's
my gosh, that you just preached a word. Show up as your authentic self, and everything else is gonna take care of itself. And
yeah.
when your authentic self is coupled with faith, when it's deeply entrenched in loving people and just being who you are, you can't help but be blessed.
Amen.
You really
Amen.
can't.
Always the goal.
I love it. I love it. Like I love everything about you. I love your presence. I love your transparency. I love just how you're willing to show people what it is that you're talking about. Like you're not just talking the faith talk, you're walking the faith walk. And that's a truly beautiful thing, especially in this time and age where people often get criticized for their faith. So I'm very proud of you for not backing down from that and standing firm in
Thank
it and
you.
showing people that, when you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you truly can do anything. That's
Yes.
probably my most favorite thing about receiving my packages from you when I order. And it's not just special for me, it's everybody gets one. You send a mustard seed with
Yes.
every package, and sometimes that is exactly what you need as I'll say as a woman, because that's the only demographic I can speak on behalf of is as a Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need that little reminder. And I feel like that mustard seed is a tangible piece to say, you know what? This is how much is being required of me to have.
Right.
Oh, I
Like
can
that.
have way more than that. But this is all I need. So
Yeah.
that's truly, truly powerful. Can you tell the people how they can find you on social media, where they can order your products, everything?
So yes, I can be found on social media. All of my personal pages are Ameka Coleman. That's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and the same for Strands of Faith. Just at Strands of Faith, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. And I also have a podcast on all of the podcast channels. It's called Facts, Faith. No, wait. Facts, Feelings, and Faith.
Yes.
Now, I haven't recorded. It's been a while. I need to get back on my second season. But anyway, that's on all of the podcast platforms.
But they're very, very I don't want to describe it as entertaining, even though it is entertainment. It's very real.
Yes.
I love the podcast because that's the side of you that's really it's more personal.
Yes.
Like a
Yes.
lot of what we see on the business page, of course, is business related. You do have your family and a lot of different things that you have going on, but that faith, facts, and feelings,
Yes.
facts, feelings, and fakes,
Yes.
facts, feelings, and fakes,
Facts and feelings. That's it.
faith, facts, and feelings. It's this very, I don't know. It's got this honest thing about it that's just very. Sometimes we're thinking things, especially when you're a person of faith and you're going, I don't know how to put this out, but I'm gonna go ahead and share this. But
Right. It may be a little controversial. You may get a little backlash, but
I need to speak my piece.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
it is. Yes.
I absolutely love that. So I'm so glad that you took time out of your busy schedule, because I know your schedule is bananas. So I really appreciate that. Y'all check out my Jacktown homegirl, my Mississippi State homegirl, and truly a friend in the faith, Miss Ameka Coleman. Check her out on all platforms. Check out Strands of Faith. Once you finish watching this video, you'll find a special coupon code at the end. Special thanks to Miss Ameka Coleman for providing us with that. I'm so excited. And guess what, guys? The Strands of Faith, living my best blessed life, living my blessed life, third edition,
Yes.
is out.
Yes.
It is out. And I cannot promise you that by the time this video comes out that it won't be sold out, because it likely will.
You've already sold. Yeah. So
Telling you,
there'll still be some available.
if that box is available, get your box. Trust me, it is the best investment and is the greatest way to get the most bang for your buck, especially if you're trying the products for the first time. But she also has samples, right?
Yes.
She does have samples. And I'm going to leave you with my two favorite products from Strands of Faith. First is the refresher spray, because that thing has my fro sitting so right. Every morning when I wake up with my natural hair, I spray it, and I'm like, it literally gives me chills because it revives my hair. It also revives my girls' twist outs and their different sets when I do like twist outs, or if I do the braid outs and then take them loose, it revives it, so it makes it look so pretty. And then my other favorite product is that shampoo bar. Y'all are not ready. If you never use a shampoo bar before, you will never go back to liquid shampoo again if you try this product. That is my favorite product. So those are the ones that are officially endorsed by Miss Michelle Renee.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
And there you have it.
Thank you so much, Ameka, for taking our time to talk with me. Everybody be sure to go check her out. This is truly a dope Black woman of God. She's amazing, and she is walking her walk, talking her talk, and living her best blessed life. Thank you, Miss Ameka.
Thank you. Have a good one.